Hey folks, it's Jang here from ultimaterc.com, and I'm going to be looking at another ECX, formerly Electrics RC vehicle. This is going to be the Torment. It is a 1/10 scale, two-wheel drive, short course truck, comes fully ready to run. I forget the price though. I don't quite remember how much it costs. I think it's about $159.99, something like that. Anyway, this is what it looks like before you take it out of the box. I'm gonna take it out of the box, and this is what it looks like out of the box. Like I said, two-wheel drive, short course truck. All of them pretty much look the same from the outside, so there's not much use in staring at this for very long. I think it has nice looking graphics, nicely printed and stuff. Looks pretty modern. The windows are stickers though. It's a little bit on the cheesy side, but overall, I mean, what are you gonna expect? It's a cheap two-wheel drive short course truck. Let's see what's actually under the body. Much to the dismay of myself and to many other people who have seen pictures of this thing online, it is not based on an extended circuit or boost chassis. It is based on the Ruckus monster truck chassis, which is all lifted in the middle, kind of like a Traxxas Stampede, or like Traxxas did with their Slash, with the two-wheel drive Slash. They also kind of did it with the four-wheel drive Slash. Unnecessarily high center of gravity because your battery's sitting up here. You've got this upper deck that's raising the center of gravity. You got your ESC up here. It's just taller than it needs to be, but this is not designed to be a high-end racing truck, so I will reserve judgment on what that does to the performance for later, after once I actually get this thing on the road and on the track and see how it actually performs. Let's see some features. Comes obviously ready to run, so everything's completely pre-installed, pre-glued tires. Let me get a closer look at these tires here. Very nice aggressive tread. It's a little bit on the stiff side, especially along the sidewalls, but the compound is not super hard. It's not plasticky, so I'm actually pretty happy about those. I think they're going to be good for all-terrain bashing in general, and they'll probably last a while because they do put a fair amount of contact patch on the ground, and it's stiff enough. It has large enough lugs that they're not going to wear out with mixed street and dirt driving. They've got these 5-hole, I believe these are looking at them, I need to spend a little more time with some calipers. I'll do that for the review. I'm looking at the ones on the other side actually to see what the offset is. I can't tell whether that is a Slash rear offset. I don't think it is. I think that these are actually offset a little bit narrower in, just from looking at it. I haven't done the research compared to the Slash ones, but I will check into that in the full-on review. They do give you in the box a couple of foam spacers to allow you that are basically one sub-C cell long, so you can move your battery into 3 different locations. It's a fully brushed setup, so brushed ESC, brushed 20-turn Traxxas Stinger-like old seal can non-rebuildable motor. Their other vehicles are good for about I think it was 18 miles per hour or so with the included battery. And that's a very cool thing about the Electrics products so far, the ECX products so far, is when they say ready to run, they mean ready to run. They even give you a battery. It's just a nickel metal, it's just a 6 cell. It's rated at 1800. I've found that to be not quite correct. They actually tend to hold more than that. They even give you 4 AA's for the controller, but you did notice that the price on this thing was higher than with the circuit and with the boost. And a lot of the reason for that is that they've really gone upscale here. This is a genuine Spectrum radio set, 2-channel economy, not high-end, but it is genuine Spectrum. It's a DSM-1. You can bind a more fancy Spectrum controller to the included receiver that's in there. And this just feels quality. It's got nice rubber grips here and here. It has good balance to it. Only 4 AA's is all that it needs. This thing just feels good. I'm very happy about it. You've got just analog trims, dual rate, and then reversing on it. So basic in terms of its functions, but these are generally really high quality pieces of machinery, and very nice to include something that nice with a really low end entry-level RTR. Also for your battery, you do include a wall charger. It's a typical, you know, what is it, 4-hour or so charger. Might be a little bit less than that, depends upon how much you drain these down. Could be more than that also on the very first charge. But in general, you're looking at a layout of a vehicle that is much like a Traxxas Slash. It's got bell cranks mounted underneath the front of the chassis, and servos on top. This little section right here is kind of interesting, that it helps to protect your electronics, well, at least your receiver and your servo, from the elements. It's not going to be completely waterproof, but at least it keeps out a lot of dust, and if you drive through some slightly muddy conditions, you're not going to get it all over the receiver. It's always a pain to get when you get mud down in the pins, the open pins on a receiver. So that's nice. Oil-filled shocks, pretty much standard fare across all of their products. They're decent quality, you know. The stock suspension setup that they give you on this feels, again, decent. Better, I would say it's better than what comes on some of the competition, like the Traxxas Slash. I think it's a little bit stiffer than what you get on an HPI Blitz. I think it feels like a pretty decent starting setup. They do give you a number of options for mounting your shocks, both top and bottom. They're plastic bodied, and they do not have threaded bodies, so you do need to use clips for preload spacing. They include some extra clips in there. They do not give you adjustable turnbuckles for the camber links, front or rear, or the front toe links, but you can upgrade those. You can replace them. And let's see, transmission, plastic axles, plastic slider shafts, very much like the Traxxas use. There is a slipper clutch inside of there. That's about it, you know, for the vehicle on the whole. There's nothing groundbreaking here. It's just the cheapest proper hobby grade short course truck that you can get, and by cheap I mean inexpensive. It's not cheaply built. They did try to cut back on costs as much as possible with things like the non-adjustable plastic links, but that's fairly common fare when they're going for low cost, low price to the consumer. This is definitely not something that's common when you're going for lowest cost. I was surprised to see this included in there, and the fact that it comes with a battery also, and even the AA's that you need for the controller, makes this a pretty decent value. But I already know how it's going to perform based on my experience with their other vehicles, but I will do a full review on this vehicle, so stay tuned for that. I'll get it up as soon as possible, weather permitting, and if you're looking at this video sometime after it was created, be sure to look for the video response, or just check my channel, it's Ultimate RC Network, on YouTube to find the actual review. And depending upon how much driving I do, how much extra footage I get, sometimes I will put up just plain driving videos of just the vehicle by itself, with no music and such, so you can just get a little better idea of what it feels like and what the experience is like to drive one of these cars that I've reviewed. So that's it for now for the ECX Torment. It's available through any store or any hobby shop that uses Horizon as a distributor. It's a Horizon brand, the same company that owns Losi. It costs 160 bucks. ready to run with 2.4 gigahertz and a battery and AA's and everything that you need to get out there on the road. So again, stay tuned for the review. And if you have any questions or comments, you want to talk about anything RC related, be sure to join the friendly forums at ultimaterc.com, and I'll talk to you again soon.